So if you have more questions, you can ask at the end. And just to give as a note to the remaining speakers, one of our speakers pulled out unfortunately due to personal reasons. So you guys should, take your time. So there is no pressure. And our next speaker, I would like to welcome Mr. Mugai from the Department of Civil Engineering. Most of us know him. So yeah, he's a junior lecturer. Sorry about that. He's our junior lecturer at TUT. Um, so yeah, I don't know if I should mention the things he does outside TUT, but I'll just go ahead and mention them. He's also a businessman, so he comes in that capacity as well. So, Mr. Mgai, don't get mad at me for saying that. At least the students will love me for saying it. So, yeah, he's our junior lecturer, and I'll just go ahead and give him the opportunity to give us a talk. So, he will be giving us a talk regarding the programs that the department offer. So, if you want to know about all those things and like the honors programs and all those things, because I'm getting a lot of questions from students about when is the honors program getting accredited by ITS and all those things. So yeah, he's here to clarify most of those things. Thank you, Mr. Mukai. Can you please go ahead with your presentation? Mr. Mukai, are you there? Mr. Mukai? Okay, guys. Can we, for those who want to go to the toilet, wanna use the toilet and wanna drink some water a bit, you guys can do that. We'll get back. We'll start around 5 while I try to communicate with Mr. Mkai. Thank you. Yeah, just an update. We'll start at 5. Mr. Mkai had a problem with his network, so yeah, he'll be back at 5. So we'll start at that time. Yeah, so you guys, if you have any questions regarding our programs at TVT, feel free to ask him, use him now. With regards to the phasing out of the national diploma as well, you can ask him everything about that. So he's here representing the department. Yeah. We can't hear you, sir. Can you hear me now? I'm saying Mr. Mugai will start at 5. He had problems with his network, so he'll come back at 5, and then we're gonna start from then. So we can take this as a 2-minute break. So for those of you who want to use the toilet, can quickly do that, and at 5 he's gonna start. Thank you.
Okay. network ha o le mo meeting e beta ko ding one ke presenter ya team e tsa ke TV le di network.
Mr. Mkai, if you are ready, you can start with the presentation. Thank you.
Okay, Temba, am I audible now?
Yes, you are. I can hear you.
Okay. Good afternoon, guys. My name is Musimane Kaho Misha Mokai. As you might all know me, I'm a junior lecturer in the Department of Civil Engineering.
Can you please share your screen, sir?
Yes, I will. I'm a junior lecturer in the Department of Civil Engineering. And as Temba said, I'm involved with a lot of other industry activities in terms of the work that I do. But today I'm just going to speak about what the Department of Civil Engineering has to offer to all students. By the way, I'm an alumni of the Department of Civil Engineering. I studied civil engineering here at the university starting from 2007. And later on, I came back and I became a lecturer at the same institution where I studied. We are led in the department by Professor Jack Sneyman, who is the HOD of the department. Professor Sneyman sits in building 3, floor 5, next to Daphne. I'm sure that all of you guys know who Daphne is. And then we've got a section head called Mr. Jones Moloisani, who's also leading us in the department. Now, my task is just to deal with the courses that we are offering in the Department of Civil Engineering. So we've got, if you look at on the screen, 7 courses or 7 qualifications that we are offering currently, which is the higher certificate. The higher certificate has 2 branches in it, which is the water stream and the construction management stream. With the higher certificate, you get a certificate after a year, of which then you can use it to go and work in those spaces where you have qualified. The other thing is that you can then upgrade your qualification into a BEng after getting the certificate. You need a minimum of 60% in order for you to be upgraded to the BEng level. And then we offering the national diploma, which, by the way, is being phased out. So it's currently being phased out at this moment. So you can no longer apply for the national diploma. I did the national diploma back then, where then after that you needed to do your BTech and so on and so forth. The national diploma extended was also a course that you could do as you could do a 4-year program basically when you're doing the national diploma extended, rather than the 3 years or the traditional 3 years that you are doing basically when you are studying. And then we've got the bachelor's degree, which is your BEng Tech. The BEng Tech is a 3-year course, which basically covers all phases of civil engineering, from your transportation engineering, geotechnical engineering, to your structures. Remember, at first we used to specialize at BTech. So at this level, you're still doing all the courses that you basically are doing to graduate. And then we've got your BTech, which is also phasing out. That was replaced now by the bachelor's degree. The BTech, we used to have, I think, 6 specialization fields there, which I took for an interesting sake, the transportation space in that space, but it's phasing out and it's replaced by the bachelor's degree. And then after you do your bachelor's degree, we are going to we have just been accredited now to do the honors program. So previously you used to do your BTech, and after that you could do your MTech, which is your master's degree. At this stage we've got an MEng. Now before you do the MEng, if you're graduating your BEng, you're going to do an honors program for a year. That honors program is going to be a specialization. So basically you can do an honors in transportation, structures, and so on and so forth. And after that, then you can now do your master's degree, which is your MEng. An MEng is a qualification that has a minimum of 1 year in the system or 3 years maximum in the system. And then from there on, it's basically research based. So you need to do a research, a dissertation, so that you can basically qualify or have a master's degree. From there on, then you can do your DEng, which is your doctorate. After that, which also has the same things. I mean, it's research based. And then after this, you would have been done with your civil engineering courses up to your doctorate. I assume that everybody that is in here at this stage, they are still either doing their BTech or bachelor's or your BEng Tech. So after, I mean, when you look at this, you can already kind of look forward to saying where you're going to be in a few years coming. So yeah, this is what we are basically offering in the Department of Civil Engineering at TUT. By the way, as you all know, I had the previous speaker speaking about their boss having studied at TUT. We pride ourselves as civil engineering department as an excellent department that a lot of industry people have studied at this university, and they are doing very well. So I agree with him. So if you are studying in this department, you are basically in the right department. You didn't make a wrong choice. And as a department, we will do everything in our powers basically to get you to where you want to be. Thanks, Temba. I don't know if students have any other questions on this. Temba?
It seems like Mr. Mukai is struggling with network, so let's just wait for him to reconnect. Can you guys please switch off your mics?
Temba, I think I was lost there for a minute. Did you get the gist of all my presentation? I wanted to take questions. I don't know where you lost me.
Okay, Mr. Mkai. I think you were done by the time you got cut by the network. So I'll just read off the questions from the chat for those that have questions for you. The first question that I can see is someone asking. The question goes like, I would like to know if the Bing Tech blog course is available. The Bing Tech blog course, if it's available.
BN's Tech blog course. I stand on the correction, but I think it is still available. I don't know if it's going to be phased out or what, but at this stage we are offering the BN's Tech blog course. But the best thing that you can do if you want to take this course, you can contact our administration department, Daphne, so that she can basically assist you with all those. But yeah, the last time I checked, it was available. Thank you.
Okay, Maruth, I'm trying to check if we have any more questions on the chat. Um, I'm trying to check. So if I've missed any of your questions, guys, can you please just raise your hand and ask? Because the only question I can see from my side is the one about the Bing Tech blog course.
Someone who's asking, can you perhaps give us a talk about your experience in the industry? I don't know.
Yeah. I think you can do that. Since one of the speakers pulled out, maybe you can briefly talk to us about that. Thank you.
Okay, thanks, Simba. My experience in the industry has been one that is fulfilling in terms of academics and also the industry itself, as in the actual work that we do. I basically worked from 2011 after graduating for until 2015 in the industry. Before I came back to join the university. And in that space, I've been involved or heavily involved in the consulting space, which is where basically the whole concepts of designs, planning, and advice to clients comes from. So I was involved in a lot of designs. Myself, I regard myself as a civil designer because I love doing road designs, stormwater designs, and so on and so forth. And then came back to the university, and then I took another direction, which is academic space. So which I have been then involved now for 6 years in the academic space. So it has been a very fulfilling 10 years for me. Everything that I have at this stage, I can greatly put it on the footsteps of civil engineering. I mean, it has done so many amazing things for me personally. And I liked what the other speaker said, to say that if you are committed and you know what you want in this department and you are dedicated, you can get, in this space, you can basically get everything that you want, because I've seen that. I'm a living proof that with hard work and dedication in the course as civil engineering, you can become whatever that you want, and it's a very rewarding industry, or it's a very rewarding course. Thank you.
Well, I have a question myself, Mr. Mkai. I just want to understand from your experience in the industry, and also trying to be a businessman at the same time. Like for someone who's still in maybe school, university, how is that possible? Like, for instance, I don't have plans of being just working for someone for the rest of my life. I also have ambitions of owning something and also contributing to the civil engineering industry by producing. So I want to know, what was the path that you took along your after graduating and all those things, and what kind of like made you to go through that part, and what were the challenges? And even now, I we know that there's a lot of corruption in the government, and also how the tenders are being given and all those things. How do you actually survive in that kind of environment? So can you please just give a brief about that? And you also mentioned that you took an academic road. So I just want to understand that if I'm a student and I go to the industry and I come back maybe to UT to teach and all that, how what effect does it have on my civil engineering career? Because I understand it's an academic road other than a road that's going to make me a great civil engineer out there as I'm getting the experience in the industry. So, what is the difference between the two, and what effect does it have on you or on any engineer out there? Thank you.
Okay, Temba, you asked a lot of questions, but I'll try to answer you as much as possible. First of all, the best thing that you can do as a civil engineering student is to finish the course and work because engineering it's a heavily experienced field. So basically, you need to finish your course, do the 3 years of working, register as a professional, and then specialize in whatever that you want to specialize in. And then from there on, that's when you can basically, depending on the calling that you have in life, you can choose whatever that you want to be. I mean, I after 4 years of working, chose to come back and work at the university, and I also chose to have an organization that I'm heading currently as a CEO and so on and so forth. But then all of those things, they come back from the knowledge and experience that I've had over the 4 years or 5 years that I've been in the industry, and I knew exactly where I wanted to position myself. So you can't just want to go into business without knowing or having a niche kind of experience where you are specializing in something so that you can offer in the industry. In terms of what's happening in the industry now, in terms of like tenders and everything, I don't have an opinion on that. The only thing that I know is that if you are offering a skill out there in South Africa needs a lot of qualified engineers. It needs a lot of qualified young people that can obviously help in infrastructure developments. I always tell my students in my class that JF Kennedy once said, we do not build our roads. We do not just build our roads for ourselves, but the roads that we build, they build our success. Because if you have infrastructure, if you've got good infrastructure, if you've got good roads, good airports, good everything, then the economy is going to grow, and we're going to see a positive future for ourselves. So as young engineers, or as young students who are aspiring to become engineers, the industry needs us, South Africa needs us, and the whole of basically Africa needs us, so that we can basically excel in this course. I hope I answered you. Thank you.
Yes, you did, Mr. Mkai. Thank you so much. I don't think we have any more questions.
Okay. I see Prof.
Sorry,
Snyman
I did post a question on the chat. If you can just check, please.
Okay, on the chat.
Or I can just ask it here if it's fine.
Okay.
Good day. How are you?
Thank you. I'm okay.
Yeah. I just wanted to know. I heard Mr. Mosai Manejo talking about the MTech and all that. So I just wanted to know, is there a significant difference between someone who's doing BSc and BEng? And I know that also based on the name there has to be some different, but is there a significant difference in such a way that maybe when someone is doing graduate, when you're doing your honors and your masters, suppose someone who did BSc when we go to that level, is there such a significant difference in such a way that it does give a difference when you go to postgraduate qualification? And if there is such difference, where exactly is the boundary? That's what I would like to know. I don't know whether it's clear.
So if I'm trying to get your question clearly, you are referring to you when you want to do your postgraduate studies, like when you want to do your honors, your masters, and your doctorate. Is that correct?
Yeah, because I heard you. Yes, because I heard you referring to MTech and what tech. So I just wanted to know: is there a significant difference between somebody who's doing honors or masters from BSc and someone who's doing masters from BEng?
Okay, so basically we don't have MTech and DTech anymore in the university, in Tshwane University of Technology. So we have an MEng and a DEng. So the same MEng that they would offer at your traditional universities like your TAX, your WITS, we are offering it at this stage at the at Tshwane University of Technology. So we don't have MTech or MEng. I mean, DTech or MEng anymore in the university. So no, once you get to that, there's not a difference because they are all valued on the same NFQF level. So there is. So we have the same MEng and DEng that they would have at the traditional university.
Okay. Thank you.
Thanks. Temba, do you want to read or should I then read the questions?
You can go ahead and read them.
Which advice could you give the students who are on their in-service training at the moment? Do they still have a future with their diploma in the industry, or should they still come back for BEng Tech, which way can work better for them? Okay. What advice? I think maybe what I can say is just basically to offer an advice. The national diploma is still very much relevant in the industry. I mean, we still need technicians. I think also, I mean, we have a lot of technicians in the industry, so there is still a place for technicians in the industry. Should you want to continue with your studies, obviously the BTech is no more there, but there is an advanced diploma that you can do, which is on the same NFQ level as your BTech. So at the end of the day, if you've got an advanced diploma, you've got the same skill as a person who's got a BTech, and you can register as a technologist with EXA. So the diploma still basically holds and it's still very much relevant in our industry in South Africa. Not trying to jump the gun, but probably later on, advanced diploma might be introduced in our department and many other departments in South Africa. I know that UNISA at this stage is also offering the advanced diploma and so on and so forth. So yeah, it's very much relevant. So you didn't do a wrong thing by doing that. I hope I answered him. And I'm just going to do this last question, Temba, then so that we can then move on to the last speaker. Ntekang T says to Mr. Mukai, what are some of the challenges that you faced in the industry? Challenges that are faced in the industry. There's a lot of challenges that you can always face in the industry in terms of trying to prove yourself, especially as a young engineer. Sometimes you try to prove yourself, but then there are doors that can be shut in front of you. There are challenges in terms of maybe are you capable of it enough, or questioning yourself a lot. But again, I will refer back to the previous speaker because he just graduated and he knows much better the feeling that I had about 10 years ago and the feeling that I have now is much more different. But then what I know is that with every challenge, it makes you grow better and stronger. So at the end of the day, the previous speaker said, you need to be dedicated to the cause. You need to be dedicated to your plans for your life, because you are in this because you wanted to become an engineer, and it's not going to be easy. It's not going to be a smooth sailing road. But as long as you've chose this path, you need to do everything in your powers to achieve what you want to achieve. So I think in every industry is like that. Those people who are dedicated enough, they will always come out the best, or they will always come out at the top. So challenges are always there, but then your dedication will outweigh your challenges. Thank you. Thank you, Temba.
Thank you, Mr. Mgai. Thank you a lot for your talk. I would also like to take this opportunity to ask the department to maybe do something for the students, like a program where they explain all their programs, because it is pretty much clear that students have a lot of questions regarding the programs and what's being offered. So I don't know how we can do that. I see Prof. Sneyman is with us here, and I appreciate his presence. So I don't know how we're gonna do that, but I think students have a lot of questions, and it would be great if we do something for them so that they can ask all these questions, or we create a survey where they send these questions and they get their answers back. Because someone asked what's the difference between I forgot what was the question, but then those are just basic questions that every student should know. So I hope Prof. Sneyman is listening and can do something for our student. So now I'm just gonna move on to our last speaker of the day, Ms. Randy Sibia. I hope she's ready. So she's gonna be talking about the importance of joining career building programs, also being a member of Golden Key International Honor Society. So she's a graduate in civil engineering, being tech. Okay, I see Mr. Mkai has raised his hand, so I'm just going to give him his.
No, Temba, I just saw Prof. Sneyman's camera was on. You wanted to greet, so I just thought maybe before this next speaker speaks, you could just give him an opportunity just to say hi.
Okay, no problem. I didn't see that. He can definitely do that. Prof. Sneyman?
Thank you, Mr. Mukai, and thank you for putting me on the spot. Thank you, everyone. Good evening. I want to be I don't want to be. It's for youngsters, and that's why I asked Mr. Mukai to represent the department, and Mr. Mukai did exceptionally well. And thank you for that. So I don't want to talk. I just want to say hi, and I just want to welcome all. It's so good to see so many of you taking part of this event or this roadshow. And I want to thank especially the chair and the TUT chapter for taking the initiative. It's awesome. I really like it, but I think it's for the youngsters. But I just want to say hi, and really looking forward to this event. And thank you so much for joining, and also for SAIS as well. Debbie and them for also taking part and giving us the opportunity. And I can just see the chapter growing, and it's good to be part of this family, the civil engineering family, and it's also good to join the voluntary associations and to be part of the larger family. Thank you for putting me on the spot, Mr. Mukai, and yes, I'm just following. Thank you so much, Chair, for the opportunity. Thank you.
Thank you, Prof. Sneyman. Thank you a lot. I'm just gonna go ahead and welcome our next speaker. As I've already said, it is Ms. Randy Sibia. I hope she's ready so she can go ahead with the presentation. Ms. Randy Sibia.
Good evening, guys. I hope you all can hear me.
Yes, we can. Yes, we can.
It's a pleasure. It's a pleasure to be here, guys. I'm honored, and I'm still at work, guys. So I only asked my manager for just 5 minutes so that I can just speak with you guys. I can introduce myself. I'm Randy Sibia. I graduated at University of Johannesburg, PhD Tech in Civil Engineering last year. So I am fairly new in the industry. I don't have much of an experience. So, but I will ask for you guys to engage and let's just have a conversation. You just ask me questions if you have questions, and then I'll answer as much as I can. Because yeah, can I just have maybe questions from you guys? The ladies, I haven't had the questions from the ladies. Can I maybe say get the questions from the ladies and just ask me anything that you want to know so that I can answer, and we make this conversation as quick as possible because I need to get back to work, and I'm sorry about that.
I think we have a question. I think it's Miss Rapezo. I'm sorry if I didn't pronounce your name correctly. Can you please go ahead with your question, Miss Rapezo?
Thank you, Temba. So I wanted to ask Ms. Randy about to please elaborate more about being a member of the International Honorary. Yeah.
Or the Golden Key International Honor. So what happened is in my first year at UJ, which is 2018, meaning I performed well in my studies. So you just perform well, you get your distinctions, then you become maybe top. It was top 16, yeah. You become top 16 in your is it the faculty? Yeah, in the faculty, in the department. I'm sorry, in the department of civil engineering. So I was in the top 16. Then I was selected as one of the top achievers that year. So what they do is that they invite all the top achievers that each year you get awarded certificates, you get a pin as well, and you become a member of the society. It's almost like becoming a member of the society where you just, when you are the member, you get opportunities to get exposed to a lot of things that are relevant to your degree, discussions, webinars, you attend meetings, almost like the SciSci. So you just get exposed and you get to network. Yeah, so yeah, that's basically what it is to become the member of the Golden Key International Honor Society.
Okay, thank
I
you.
hope. Thank you. Can I have another lady who's gonna ask a question, guys? Please.
Yes, we have. I think it's Tulani. I'm not sure if it's a woman, unless we have.
Yeah, maybe we have
So
Tulani was a woman. Can we hear your question, Mrs. Tulani?
It's not a woman, Ren. It's not a woman.
Okay.
No, I just wanted to ask, were you put on some sort of graduate program after graduating? And if that was the case, then what tasks were you put on? What were you required to do? What is the program? What does it require you to do? And how does it help you cultivate your career further?
Okay, currently I am, because I'm considered as a, in inverted commas, a graduate trainee at work. I don't, what can I say, a position, I'm just labeled as a graduate trainee. So so the program that I'm in now is that I have to go to almost all the departments here at the company. Well, guys, I work for Hillary Constructions, which deals with asphalt production. We construct roads, we do emulsions. Yeah, that's Hillary Constructions is based in Polokwane, if you don't know it. So yeah, so what I do at work now is to go around in all the departments and try to learn how the whole company operates from the HR department, the safety, the plants. I go to the plants, imagine. I go to the laboratory, and I also get a chance to go to sites to learn basically everything and on how the company operates. So I can say, yeah, the program that I'm in now, because it's like 2 years, 6 months program, and I've been in since I can say February. It's quite helpful, and I think when I finish the program, I'll be having much experience. So I think the program is a very good program. And to state further, I've been with Hillary since I was a student. Hillary is the company that has been paying for my tuition fees. So I started as a gap year student. So there's this program at Hillary Constructions where they take students in. So if you apply for a bursary, they take you in for a year. You work as a student, so they assess you. If you're good enough, then they take you to varsity or college or wherever where you've applied. So after you've finished at school, that's when you get into that graduate trainee program for 2 years, 6 months. And I hope I've answered you, Mr. Tulani.
Yeah, that's fine. Thank you.
Okay, can we get another question, guys?
Hello, Randy. Can I ask you? So, since you managed to get distinctions at varsity, how did you manage to remain focused throughout the years until you graduated with all those distinctions?
Oh, this is from Miss Laka. Okay, Miss Laka, that's a very good question. It's not easy, guys. So what I can tell you is to just try by all means to stay determined. And by determined is to just try to find motivation. There are days where, there's times where we all like feel down and you feel like, ish, you don't have the energy to maybe stay focused and really study. We all have those. You just allow yourself to be in that period. And then there are days where you just need to tell yourself that you need motivation. If you know that you find motivation by maybe motivational speakers, or you have to understand yourself by reading books or whatever. You understand yourself, you know yourself by maybe going to YouTube and check out nice cars, nice houses, and that will give you motivation that no man, I need to get up and work hard. You just need to tell yourself that you have to stay motivated. And then another thing that I can say is that when you join these societies at school, the SIC and other societies that are there, they help you to get exposed, to meet people, to network. We know that motivation, you're not only going to get motivation from maybe your Elon Musk and your Bill Gates. The people that you stay with, the people that you attend classes with. When you join these societies and you get to meet these different people, there are people who are going to inspire you. And I'm talking about people maybe your age mates, your peers. So that's what I'm gonna say, guys, is that you just get yourself out there, get to meet people and see what other people do. One way or the other, there's gonna be that one person who's gonna motivate you in a way. And also, you don't have to say maybe you will do things alone. You ask for help if you need to. You just make sure that you guys know those people who are maybe geniuses in those modules. Maybe you know the guy who's always has answers in the math class. Just make sure that you go to that guy. Just make a relationship with that guy, and whenever you've got questions, you know that, what am I saying? You just make sure that you create a relationship that whenever you need help, you can just go and ask for help. You can't do everything alone, yes. So what I can say is that you need to create relationships with your classmates. Maybe form groups or have a study partner, so that in days where maybe you feel like playing, you don't feel like studying. If you have a study partner, that person is gonna push you that no man, let's do this, let's do it. So yeah, that's how you stay motivated and you keep going. Sometimes you can't do everything alone.
Thank you, Ms. Sibia. Maybe you can drop the details of the program you mentioned on the chat, where they can find it. And also, just out of curiosity, why are you at work on a
Which
Friday?
program? Sorry to disturb you. Which program? Hello?
I'm saying the program you mentioned about the Golden Key International Honor City.
Oh,
So maybe if you can drop the details on the chat so that the students can look it up after this event.
okay.
Yeah. So and I also wanted to ask, just out of curiosity, like why are you at work at this time on a Friday? So can you please just reassure us that we are on the right path of career, because it's a Friday and you're at work and it's very cold. So can you please just let us know why are you at work at this time?
I know you're on the right path. So what happens is, when you are in asphalt, what I was told is that you are controlled by the customer. So it happens sometimes that we work overtime, because if the customer, we put the customer first. If the customer wants supply, then yeah, we have to be there for them. So yeah, that's what's happening now. I'm working overtime.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Bia. I think I've chosen the right path. I think every student feels the same way. I think we have more questions from other students. So before I actually end it, I'll just give them another chance to ask you questions. So, Mr. T, can you just please?
It's a lady. Good evening, and thank you so much for the presentation. I had a question before, which has been answered, but also this is another question that I would love to hear from SAIS, I don't know, association, is how can you help student be active agents of change, in especially being part of SAIS?
I think Ms. Debbie, if she's still with us, and also Mr. Yan, if they are still with us, they can probably tackle those questions, because someone even asked a question earlier on about the bursary scheme that the bursary scheme that the SIC provides. So I think maybe all the questions that we've been meaning to ask, we can ask them now, and then all the speakers can just come in and answer them. So yeah.
Okay, good day. Jan speaking. So I think I'll try on the one that the lady asked regarding how the student chapter can, and being part of a student. So we've got a program. So if you go through as a student, you obviously there's a lot of engagements, and you try to work with the various departments trying to get involved. So in the SIC chapter, in our chapter, we have a 36 or so I need to remember it correctly now, but it's a department where you're trying to say that any person under the age of 36 is how they can come into the industry and trying to see what they can do to influence it. try and help it move forward in its various walks of fields in life. So again, it's a on the Pretoria branch chapter, I think the engagement hasn't been as engaging as we would like it to be, and that's why I said in my earlier discussion and topic, we from myself as a deputy chair, vice chair, I'm going to try and see what engagements we can try and help and see what we can start filtering knowledge through from the higher departments down into student chapters and eventually into schools. Because like I said, I'm part of the bridge building when we work with the schools, and a lot of the times there's a bit of a disconnect between understanding that, there is this field of engineering and maybe trying to get some of the students that's currently at varsity, trying to get them more active with maybe schools, trying to filter that knowledge down, and then to see, if we start filtering it down into the lower systems, eventually that will grow the base and the exposure to what is possible. That's what we're going to try from as a SAICI Pretoria. In terms of the bursary question, luckily I won't be able to answer that, and I'll ask Debbie if she can assist you on that. Otherwise, we can maybe just share that information afterwards in an attempt to see if we can alleviate that question. I hope that answers your question. Sorry, it's a bit of an on-the-spot one, so I hope it helps.
All right, it's Debbie here. Could I ask the person who asked about the bursary scheme just to repeat the question, please?
I can see the question right from the chat. Maybe I can just read it. I can just try to read it. Yes, the question goes like, I applied for the SAICI bursary, but I was told that I cannot be assisted since I do not have second semester results because I do year modules. So she's basically asking what can she do in this situation, because she's doing year modules and she was told that she cannot apply due to the fact that she doesn't have semester modules.
All right. Was it Frida that the person was corresponding with? Maybe you could just write me an email and I can try and assist and pass it on to the right person who can actually help you.
Okay, I'll try to pass your email to her. I think Miss Matoko, I'll give you Miss Davis' email, then they'll give you the right person to talk with.
Yes, thanks very much. It's difficult for me to answer that particular one, but I'll be glad to help with passing that on to try and get it resolved or have an answer for you.
All right, thank you. Do we have any more questions? Guys, if you have any question, you can ask.
Sorry.
Hello.
Yes, Miss Laga.
Hi.
Miss Maisela can go first. I'll go after her.
Yeah. This question is specifically for Randy. Hi, Randy. Can you hear me?
Hi, Maisel. I can hear you.
How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. How are you?
I'm good, thanks. One of the speakers mentioned how you need to persevere as a civil engineer in the industry, especially as a woman. So, may you please just elaborate on how you've been persevering and how the experience has been since you've joined Hillary Construction?
Yeah, that's true. You need to have patience. You need to persevere. It's not easy out here because we know when you're female, obviously you're gonna be undermined. And it's not easy to deal with that because it's gonna affect your self-confidence, it's gonna affect your self-esteem. But then again, if you know why you're here and you know what you're doing, you just have to keep pushing. But what I can tell you that it's true and it's real. They're gonna undermine you. They're gonna mistreat you out there when you're on site. We know this industry is dominated by males. So you go there out there. I was on site this other time in Venda, and it happened that I I was the only hearing sounds. It happened that I was the only female there and that side because, yeah, from my team, from the team from Larry Construction, I was the only female, and the treatment that I got, it wasn't nice. So they undermine you, they don't treat you well, but yeah, you just need to persevere and you need to, yeah, push hard, and that's what you need to do. I hope I've answered that.
Yes, thank you.
It's really hard to hear that such things happen. So I guess that's the bad side of civil engineering. But anyway, if
I
you have
can
any,
also add that sometimes you just need to stand your ground. I know, like, at this point right now, since I'm just a graduate trainee, you are scared of losing it all or just standing your ground and stand for what you deserve and what you are here for. Because even sometimes it's not even the main people at work, even like your supervisors, the people that you report to, sometimes they happen to be female too, but then because you were just here and you just graduated, they just want to take advantage of you, and now you end up doing things that you are not even supposed to be doing. So you need courage. That is all that I can tell you. You just need courage, and you need to be confident, and you need to be strong. You need to be strong. Sometimes you come back from work and cry from the things that are happening at work. But then again, you just need to be strong. It's not easy. It's true. It is not easy, especially when you're just starting. But then here, it is. Thank you.
okay, thank you, Miss Randy. Be strong, be strong. I would like to take one more question. This will be our last question. You've already gone over the time that we planned for, so I'll take one more question, and that will be the last one for the day. Is there anyone with a question?
Yes, I have a question, Tim.
Okay, you go. You go.
My questions, I want to ask Mr. Mugai if he's still here. I have two questions for him. One is that if I'm applying at his company, what are the qualities that he looks at when a new graduate applies? Since I won't be the only one applying, does he look at the good grades? Does he look at how I do at the interviews, like the team of the HR in his company? What are the qualities that they look for?
Should I answer that, Tema?
It's up to you, Mr. Mkai. it's you, but
Okay, guys. I didn't really want to delve into the consulting space that I'm in, but just to clarify, there's a team at my offices that looks into obviously all applications that come through. We have at TUT, we have two graduates that basically the international diploma that graduated through our company, or we gave them an opportunity to do their practicals through our company. And yeah, it's just a matter of applying, and the people at HR will contact you if there's a need. And I'm not really involved in that regard or that, but yeah, it's obviously you need to have good grades and some kind of ambition towards what you want, and they look at those criteria, and they pick whoever the manager is involved at that stage will pick the people. But yeah, I think it's just hard work. And yeah, and this is a general question basically for all companies or every employer. They are looking for people who can contribute to their team, and obviously the first thing that they'll look at is your marks and is how you're doing basically academically. So my advice to everybody that is here, and as I always advise all the students, is that you need to basically give 100% of your time to the course. You need to study. You need to always do whatever that you can to achieve the best, because at the end of the day, the world is not a friendly place for people who are not trying to be the best. You need to be the best, and the world will take you serious, I think. So thank you. Thanks, Temba.
Thank you, Mr. Mkai. Thank you a lot.
May I please ask one more question before you close?
Okay, yeah, you can go ahead. You can go ahead.
Okay, thank you. Well, my question is, there's often like some negatives, or is it stereotypes, that usually a student won't get hired without experience. What if you're a student who has aspirations to further your studies and achieve a master's or even go further into a doctorate program? Is it advisable like to complete your BEng degree, get some experience, and then come back and study? How does that go?
I don't know who's gonna take that, because you didn't mention the question who you're directing it to. So I don't know. Is there any way, Mr. Mkai or Tumish, or I don't know.
Okay, let me take it. So what you're saying is can you just rephrase the question so that I can get it clearly before I can answer? Because I might be, just rephrase it quickly, then I can try to answer it.
Okay, sir. So the question is, so there are often hearsays that a student won't be able to get a job if they don't have work experience. And then what if you're a person who has aspirations to further your studies, obtain your master's or even a doctorate? Is it advisable to complete your BEng, get some work experience, and then complete further your studies later? Or is it possible after BEng, do your master's and then go into the field?
Okay. Guys, again, this question, I think it totally depends on what you want to do in your career. Where do you see yourself? I mean, at the end of the day, there's not the correct or the wrong formula in doing this thing. There are people who, like myself, I graduated my national diploma and I went to work. And after working, I worked for 2 years. Then I realized that no, I needed to advance my qualifications. And then I came back to the university and I furthered my studies into the BTech. At that stage, we used to have part-time as our BTech. So I could study and still work at the same time. So it totally depends on where you are seeing yourself. If you're going to be an academic and you seeing yourself finishing your BEng Tech, then your honors, and then your masters, it's also completely fine. I mean, at the end of the day, as I said, it depends where you want to end up at the end of the day. So there's not really like one formula for everything. There's a lot of people who are doing different stuff, and at the end of the day, it depends entirely on what you want to achieve or have as an outcome. Thank you.
Thanks a lot, Mr. Mkai. I hope you answered Mr. Tifundi. Before we close it off, I would like to give our chairperson of the student chapter to just give her thanks to the people who joined us today. So, Shelly, can you go ahead?
Okay, thank you, Temba. So I would like to take this opportunity and thank all our speakers for taking their time and then actually honoring our requests. So I believe that this roadshow was a success, and I'm hopeful that you guys learned a lot, and then you probably join us throughout the year when we host more events. So I think also our objective was reached. So the objective was to actually help you guys to take note of all the important things, all the small details that actually build you into becoming a better engineer. So I think that was actually reached by the roadshow. So thank you guys again for joining. Thank you for taking your time and then participating. Thank you for all the questions that you posed, and then hopefully we'll create another event and then you also support us again. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Shailesh. Thank you. I would also like to thank everyone who joined us, the speakers. It was a very beneficial show, so I hope everyone saw the benefit. And I just want to wish everyone a great weekend. It's very cold. Keep yourselves warm. And to the students, let's work hard as we have had. Let's persevere. And yeah, this will be it. Thank you. See you next time. Bye.
Thank you guys. Bye.
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 Thank you all. Have a good weekend. Bye.